guys know, I tailor my demos, my acceleration calls with you guys based on the situation that your business is currently in. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you guys an overview of AK Dash. But it is important that afterwards, if AK Dash is something of interest to you, that we get some time on the board so I can tailor an acceleration call specific to your business, and I can really highlight the features that are most relevant and applicable for you in your situation. But for now, we're going to go over AK Dash, starting with the dashboard. We want to make it super user-friendly. This was created by pavement maintenance contractors, professionals, for pavement maintenance professionals. So we started off by showing you guys the proposals that you've recently won at the top left here. Staying up to date on your pipeline and what's just come through. And then we also right next to it have the hottest opportunities. These would be your higher ticket projects that you might want to start prioritizing on your scheduling, so you can pick from the opportunities that you have in front of you here. We've got the AK podcast that you can always utilize going job to job. It's going to have some rewinds of our roundtables like this one. It will have our coaches' corners from every Monday night. It will also have just recaps of all of our interviews and other golden nugget sources that you could get from our YouTube. We have apps that we have integrated. So we have a job costing calculator, for example, and we've got 5 of them. So we have one specific to seal coating, one specific to line striping, one for infrared patching, one for crack filling, and then one that kind of gives you everything together. So if you are someone who might just be getting started and you want to make sure that you have a good profit margin, you know where you're pricing your jobs, this will be awesome for you to get started and know you're in the right ballpark. I would say about half of our users also use QuickBooks, so we wanted to make sure we had that integrated. So that's an option for you to do your invoicing. If not, you can also do your invoicing through AK Dash. And then we have the DAF scale, which is a third-party weather source. But we also have our own weather app specifically tailored to doing seal coating projects. It's adjustable by your zip code, and it will tell you for the day if you can conduct a seal coating project in the weather of your location. So this way you can avoid rainouts, you can cross-check other zip codes in your area and make sure that you can actually do a job for the day if possible. Under the business overview, we'll give you an actual look at the estimated workdays you have remaining. There's so many contractors that don't even have any idea how much longer they have in the season. Ours is an actual accurate look because we take into account 2 major things, and that's where you stand in the country or the continent, sorry, because we're working with Canada as well. So your latitude line and how that winter will affect your season. For example, someone like me in Florida will be not affected compared to someone like Matthias in Canada. So those days of winter will be accounted for and subtracted in the work days remaining, as will the days with anticipated rainouts and days that we don't think we can conduct seal coating from our weather app. That's also accounted for in the work days remaining. So we wanted to keep this in the business overview next to the progress towards your target and what your financial target is. So we want to keep your financial target in front of you so it's something you can look at and stay reminded of every single day, and so you can continue to work towards that. And then in between the financial target and the days remaining is the progress you have, so you can see where you stand and that whether you need to put the pedal to the metal or what to get towards that goal. We'll give you a glance at your lead overview for the year. You can also adjust it to the month, the week, or just today. These are just at a glance looks to stay on top, but we do have all of your leads, all of your accounts, all your properties centralized in the main navigation menu, and also the same with your bids. So we'll show you the average bid for the month here, the total bid amount, and the total revenue amount. And then we also want to give you a look at the glance for the proposal overview for the time frame you select, so you can tell which status your proposals are on, so you know which ones to stay on top of. So you have nothing that's sitting as an unsent proposal, for example. So you can stay on top of pavement assessments and when it's time to convert that into a proposal.
Dylan, just quickly, sorry to interrupt because you're doing fantastic. Sorry to interfere here. Can you push Control Plus on your screen to see if you can get that font size up a little bit bigger for us old guys? Just push Control on your keyboard plus, and let's get that zoomed up a bit more. Yeah, is that better, everyone? Give me a thumbs up if for the old guys on here can. All right, cool. Everybody's happy with that. Cool. Thanks, Dylan.
No problem. So we also have your tasks. So all of your incompleted tasks that you haven't marked completed, those are all visible right on your dashboard as well at a glance. So you can stay on top of what responsibilities you still need to complete, and you can pass off tasks throughout your team, and they can all log in and see what will be assigned to them right here. If you are an AI agent holder with the King Boss package, then your AI task will all be created here for you to follow up. We have the quick glance look at all your invoices. To give you the at a glance look for these are also all stored in the main navigation menu. And then at the bottom here, we got extra support and coaching. So the AK roundtable link, so you guys never miss our Wednesday meetings. Our YouTube inspiration, and then extra links to coaching if you want to take your business to the next level. We got Coach Dylan McCann in the house tonight. How we doing, Dylan? So that is the dashboard at a glance. What questions do we have so far?
I think it looks, give thumbs up if everybody's happy with it, what they're seeing so far at a glance dashboards. Everybody good? All right, let's power, Dylan, let's keep powering through the navigation to show people how we can keep people's businesses organized, then close some more deals, and of course, allow us to achieve our goals on that revenue roadmap.
Yes, sir. So staying organized, you want to be able to see how your pipeline is looking. So the way we've set up our sales process in AK Dash is by creating a lead, converting it into an account or a sales qualified lead, sending that pavement assessment or medical report of the parking lot, then sending that as a proposal, increasing your conversion rate, and then ultimately winning or losing the proposal. So the pipeline, the goal is always to move left to right. You don't want anything clogging the front of it, right? So we stay organized because we'll always see what leads are just sitting in this front part of the pipeline, and we can always work it to a sales qualified lead and then move the deal down the sales process. So as I mentioned, the pipeline left to right, the quick start menu is going to be top to bottom. So you come in, as you have a lead, you create the lead right here, filling in the company info. It's cool because AK Dash, we got all these pop-ups that will help you if you're a first timer. It'll help you walk through the steps. And then you just click whether it's residential or commercial, where you got the lead from, and then all the address and contact info. If you're coming in and you got a sales qualified lead, you would come ahead and put that as an account.
And an account, just to be clear too, like if we're thinking an account, let's think of like U-Haul self-storage that might have multiple locations. Let's think McDonald's or Chick-fil-A. You'd have accounts and then you'd have multiple properties attached to an account. Raise your hand if you understand what I mean. Accounts that have multiple properties. Cool. Those are great.
Yep. And then that's exactly why after account, we have create a property. So you can include those multi-property accounts. So when you come create the property, it will ask you which account this is under. And then you can see the Dropbox here. This will have all the accounts that you've ever created. So you can specify, okay, so Dollar General, we're going to specify it's the Dollar General on Washington Avenue, not the one on Lincoln Ave. So that way it stays more organized. Once the property is created, we're good to go with the pavement assessment. You would just click the account, the property, and then fill out the remainder of the information here. Choose your template. And then you could go ahead and bang out a pavement assessment in the 3-step process. Like I said, the pavement assessment, it is a medical report for the parking lot. It will tell the customer the condition of their parking lot and whether it has liabilities, whether it could be a potential lawsuit. And it's a give as opposed to a request. So you're giving them a heads up. You're going above and beyond with your customer service, and you're building a relationship here. And it will set you up for a higher conversion rate once you end up sending a proposal through.
Do you have a template that we could see of something, an assessment?
We're gonna
Here?
show you we're gonna show you assessments and proposals as well as we get deeper in. Yep,
Okay, all right. Thank you.
definitely. Want to give you a flavor of it for sure.
Yeah, so it's a 3-step process. You fill out all the information you already have from earlier in the quick start menu because it's all saved, synchronized here. Then you would go to step 2, which is the map measure tool, which would calculate the surface area. Judd, should I go through that here?
No, we're not gonna have the time to go through the whole setup, but for somebody that wants to go on a free trial, you can go through just setting it up. It's super easy to do it. We'll show you a finished pavement assessment if that's cool with you guys to save time and make sure we're just giving you the meat and bones of what exists. But again, you can hop on a demo like with Dylan Malone at any point to go through this one-on-one, and he can show you how to do it. So that is available to you guys. But so yeah, Dylan, just fast track through this and show them what it is like to see a pavement assessment that's been completed, okay, with measurements.
Yep, so all of your pavement assessments will be stored under assessments. And you can preview and download them as a PDF.
It's just a sample, guys, just so you understand. Like if you're doing photos and so on out in the field, you can add all those photos into your pavement assessments. You can add a video link in as well, like going to a YouTube video that you might have uploaded that just has that's a private video, you know what I mean? So that you can actually have that as part of your assessment. I love to do video walkthrough assessments of a property and then tie that to the assessment. It's something that nobody else is really doing. And if you're really hunting an account that's going to be a valuable account for you, it's worth the time investment. Remember, the difference that makes the difference is what allows you guys to convert at the highest level, right? Push that Control Plus again, Dylan.
Is it sharing the PDF here right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, this is what our pavement assessment, one of our templates looks like. So it will be started saying the title of the pavement assessment, the company, the date, and then the client info with the project name and the address. It will have your company logo listed here and your company title, address here. And then your executive summary / about us will be displayed as well with your core values. The PACER scale, it's the pavement surface evaluation and rating scale from the University of Wisconsin. This will numerically break down on a scale of 1 to 10 the condition, appearance, and maintenance needed for the parking lot, so the customer can really get a good gauge on how desperately they're going to need some asphalt maintenance done on their project, on their parking lot. You can specify the areas that need attention by uploading pictures to the pavement assessment. And then in step 2, we bring you right into the bird's eye view where you can tap the corners and get the square footage surface area of the parking lot for the seal coating. And then we have the template tools to just have this recommended action plan just come right up for you, and you can adjust it as you bring it on the pavement assessment.
Notice something about that pavement assessment team. You want to recognize that pavement assessment, that recommended action plan has no pricing on it. Okay. This is a step in your pipeline, in a deal stage in your pipeline where you don't want to be shoving pricing down their throat. You're building the know, like, and trust moment right now in your pipeline. This is a give. This is the medical report. This is the report card, the give that you're going to give to someone. And you want to make sure that your recommended action plan is emotionally compelling pertaining to the person that's going to be receiving this pavement assessment. If it's a facility manager, you want to make sure that these scopes of work in your recommended plan speak to their pain points. If it's a financial person, you want to speak to their pain points. Who here agrees that a car dealership that you're creating a pavement assessment for needs to have different scopes of, not different scopes of work, but the actual wording of the scopes of work might be different for a dealership versus a school or a medical facility? Does that make sense, guys? So your pavement assessments, the design of them can be the same template, but the actual recommended action plans should be custom tailored to who you're delivering these things to. And so I ask you guys, if you're hunting a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $100,000, or $500,000 project, doesn't it deserve the time to actually put that flavor into this? I think it does. It warrants the need for that. So go above and beyond when you're doing it. And this pavement assessment module will allow you to do that. Okay, you'll have your standard scopes of works that are already preloaded in the system that we've loaded for you, but you can edit those to be really speaking to the particular person that you're wanting to deliver it to. Thumbs up if you guys got that. Make sense? Cool.
So can I just ask another question, Judd, for a second?
Of course.
You're talking about, you're addressing the objectives of, say, financial people versus the lot manager or the
right.
So you're setting up objectives, different objectives based on.
Yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah. So like imagine that I'm speaking to someone that is more concerned about the longevity of the pavement and really speaking about saving money. And in my discovery meeting with them, I'm really finding that they're sensitive about budget. Well, when I put down that we should get the cracks sealed so that water doesn't get in, erode the foundation and rapidly deteriorate, meaning you have to replace the pavement more often, which is going to cost you more money, versus somebody who's more safety focused, where I say, I want to seal these cracks to prevent potholes that are liability risks. Do you follow what I mean?
Yeah. What's in it for me?
Right. It has to be that way. And I'm telling you, like, the majority of people, the guys in our industry, the majority of people, 99.9% of them, are going out and putting just out standard default scopes of work that are in there, seal coating, this square footage with this price. They're not doing any of the stuff that we're speaking about right here. And this is like the difference, again, that makes the difference. We're seeing 30% increase in conversion rates when you use this step in your pipeline. Okay. So this is one of the unique modules that we have built because of the success that it's having, and it's built into Dash. So you don't have to go and do this in a Google Doc separately and then not have that be a part of your pipelines and saved in your system, right?
That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's roll, Dylan, onto the balance.
Yes. So it'll just end with a conclusion and your company contact info, so they can request the proposal. You can convert the pavement assessment right into a proposal. So it really doesn't take any longer to create a pavement assessment as it would just to send a proposal from the beginning. But it looks like you're going above and beyond, and it really will make you stand out for from your competition.
Can you actually do me a favor, Dylan? Can you grab the link for that pavement assessment? You have that the link up at the top, right, on that second tab?
Yes.
Grab that link and drop that in the chat for our meeting right here. And for those of you that want to go back and visit that pavement assessment, that link will be there for you guys to click on and take a look at. Don't be afraid to bookmark that and have that as something you can visit just to see kind of the parameters of it. And again, that is just a sample. If you're going to be building something out that's really, you take 20 minutes or 30 minutes to build out a really solid pavement assessment that's custom tailored, it's going to look a heck of a lot better than that template one that we've thrown in there that took us, the better part of, 4 or 5 minutes to develop, right? Of
Hey, Judd, can I throw in something right here?
course.
So I don't know, I do this verbally when I give my estimates to clients. I'm giving that assessment verbally. So this is where I see value in this, that because I'll get a call to do a motel and they'll say, hey, we need our lines cleaned up here. So I'll go to the motel and I'll walk it. I'll say, hey, have you seen that sinkhole in the back or this or that? So even though my proposal is for what they want, I give them verbally. And so that's what interests me on this 100%. So as I'm there giving a proposal for what they've called on, but I'm saying, but here's what needs to be done. They'll take what that needs to be done and they'll say, well, what is that going to cost me? So it opens it up for, okay, I'll get this done for you now because this is a pain point. 6 months from now, or even a year from now, this is what I'm coming back to do. So I just wanted to throw that out. That's why that assessment is so, I mean, I just like the layout of this. Anyway,
Yeah.
I thought I'd throw that out.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And the answer is pretty simple. Like, raise your hand if you have ever experienced what it's like to get a quote just pushed on you. A quotation, like, I'm sure, right? And think about these facility managers, these property owners, think about what they're used to, right? They're used to somebody coming up to their door or calling them and saying, hey, we're an asphalt maintenance, repair, or paving company, and we'd love to get you a quote on getting some work done on your parking lot. Well, that's very, very standard. That's what the majority of companies do. I think in today's day and age, you have to earn people's business. I think that you have to get them to trust you before you shove a quote in front of them. And so to me, if you're going to be going and hunting some opportunities, to just say, hey, listen, no strings attached, man. I just want to come and do a pavement assessment to tell you where it is in its life cycle stage. I want to take some notes about some safety aspects and liability risks for your lot. Let's review the catch basins. Let's do the pacer rating so we know what the life cycle is. And let's talk about the aesthetic value of the property as well. And I'll do this, no strings attached. It's like a report card for your parking lot. Let me get this over. There's no pricing on it. And hey, listen, if there's areas that you think that you'd really like to get fixed up and repaired based upon the assessment, then let's talk about it then. But for right now, let's just get you the information you need to be able to make a really good informed decision. And during that process, guys, just to be clear, you're going to find out what their budget is. You're going to find out what their timelines are. All you're doing is doing a soft sell. In today's day and age in 2024, the actual number of times that you have to follow a cadence in order to close a deal is a heck of a lot more than what you needed to do 5 years. The sales world's changed, guys. People are tired of just the telemarketers. They're tired of the fast guys that are coming in and out. If you guys want to build real solid accounts using a system like this, for example, you're going to deliver something that's professional and that they're not used to. And that's really the ultimate goal, is to give you guys something that you can harness and work with. That's the difference. So the cool thing is, just Dylan, as you go into the in progress here, I know that people are going to want to see how fast they can convert one of those assessments to a proposal as well, right?
Right. Yep. And it's the click of a button. You just pick one of your pavement assessments and you can create a proposal out of it right here.
So now you've literally, look, you've converted it to a proposal. Now you add your pricing and you send it along and you're done. Like, you don't have to recreate anything. It's designed so that you guys have done the assessment in that stage in the pipeline. You move it to a proposal, and then move it to close one or lust.
So this is what a proposal looks like as we start including the prices.
Push Control Plus one more time, Dylan, if you don't mind, a couple of times, just so we can see. So again, see the scopes of work, guys? The scopes of work for seal coating. If we're talking about seal coating, we're talking about car dealership, are they wanting to know more about how it's going to create a longer lasting pavement surface? Maybe, based upon the conversation. But if you're at an exotic car dealership and they want to get that parking lot black, what are they looking for? They're looking for that black carpet to put their $300,000 vehicles on, right? Aesthetic. Speak about that.
Yep, and the price breakdown is a good way to see what they're paying for each of your services.
Does that have a breakdown to where it's square footage? I mean, I kind of toss back and forth, Judd, and about pricing. So my proposal that I send out, I say, you know, your lot's 5,100, you know, 50,000 square feet, and it's going to be this much. So they're seeing an actual breakdown, so they can, if they do get a competitive bid, they see the difference. I like this, how it's spilled up, laid out like this. But is there an additional page that has like the per square foot or linear foot or paint?
No, you can add it in right here. So like these scopes of work aren't permanent, guys. They're just kind of placeholders, right? That we've preloaded with the system. You can edit these and you can add new scopes. You can add more notes to it. Like you can literally have that seal coating show the square footage. How, you know, you can add in that you're putting 3 coats in high traffic lanes. So Matt, you can add any of that stuff.
Because to get to this point to where that number is on here, when you're filling out the customer base and I don't know if you showed that while I was driving or whatever, but to get to that seal coating number, that $2,642, is there somewhere on the AK dash that has that property, the square footage of that property, and per square foot price? Is that on there? Dylan, can you show where that is, or is that information under the customer's database? So in a year from now or 2 years from now, I can go back, or 3 years, and say, hey, they had a 5,300 square foot lot, and or whatever. This is what I charged, you know, 19 cents. I'm up to 22 cents or up to 32 cents. What is
Dylan,
that?
if you go in and look at the one I built for McDonald's here in Saskatoon, it'll break down everything. It takes into account each one of the locations and square footage and everything's built around the square footage of the property. So you'll see it there if you look up the McDonald's.
This
Yeah.
guy here.
Sure. I think it might have been the one. I can't remember if that's the one I built. Yeah, maybe not. But go into there and see if there's anything. Yeah, I was going to say, if you just scroll down, you would see if somebody done a takeoff of the property or not. Because the takeoff's the key part of it, right? Yeah. So if you look just below there, that's based on 17,000 square feet. If you look to the bottom left of the corner of the picture, and if you scroll down now, you should see in your summary on your payments section where that aligns with your square footage.
Just to add to that, it does show your costs versus what you charge the customer on the back end, but it's not in the proposal.
That's right. That's for your own internal numbers. So obviously it doesn't show it here, but you typically, when you look at, because this one obviously is only showing the line striping, like restriping and power washing. If you look at the one I built, there was actually seal coating, and based on X amount of square feet was included in the description as well. So
What account did you build it in? What account did you use to build it? The King Boss account, or which account?
I think it was the demo one. If you look under anything I've built, yeah, if you just look under search, Matthias in there, maybe, I don't know. Yeah,
We're not gonna have to search by the actual account.
And that's fine, as long as that's an option, Judd.
The answer, guys, just so we don't go down too deep of a rabbit hole. The answer is, Matt, yes, absolutely, that can be done. And the second thing is, as you're going through your proposal development as well, you're also going to determine whether or not you're going to be profitable on a project based upon your assumptive forecasting that you're doing. Our mission was for you guys to never be putting out a proposal that you're going to be losing money on. Who here wants to lose money on a project? All right. Well, I think
I could win in the future.
Right. Yeah. Well, maybe, but I think where I'm going on this, you know, you would just want to make sure that for the guys that are just starting out as well, that you understand your true costs associated with whatever you're doing so that you make sure that you're pushing out a proposal that's profitable for you. I'm not a big fan of sending out 100 proposals that are just not going to make me money. I want to make a lot of money doing this, right? Like you guys want to be rocking with 60%, 65% GP on these projects. You know what I'm saying? Like you want $1 million business that you're going to look at gross profit in the $650,000 range. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Like that's where we want to be going. So you'll have those optics to answer your question. Dylan, where are we going now, buddy?
Yeah, that just shows how quick you can convert that assessment right into a proposal. All your proposals will always be stored here, and you'll see the status if it's in progress, if it's been won, or if it's been lost. For any count history, those will always be here to look back on, see how much square footage you did, etc. So you can see where you're going with the customer yet again. So we also do have the options. If you have spontaneous opportunities, you can go ahead and just quick create a full proposal here to do it at a faster pace. And then if you're working residential, you could do a create quick proposal right here really quickly. So all of your projects will be stored in the main navigation menu. You'll see the status of them displayed. As I mentioned, when going through the dashboard, you got the tasks that are incompleted will always be displayed on the main dashboard, and then the completed ones will be available right here. I showed you the pipeline. I showed you all the assessments and proposals are saved. We have a scheduling tool. And with the scheduling tool, you can go ahead and take your projects and place them right onto your schedule. You can also use the scheduling tool and put the projects on from here. You can also assign different projects to different users. And ultimately just keep your business really organized and structured utilizing this. Judd, you want to chime in?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's an important thing to know what's going on inside the system. You don't have to use the scheduling feature, but some people prefer to have their independent scheduling features, but we have a lot of people that are using this that just want it integrated into one system. So we're also working on some cool integrations here, but this is pretty, I think everyone understands it's pretty self-explanatory. You can add projects, you can add different people to different projects. So if you have a project that's at a mall, for example, you can add, multiple users that are part of your AK- platform to go and execute on the surface prep portion of it on this date between these times. And then you could go and do the line striping on a different date at these times with a different select group of people or people on your team. So I think if you want to look deeper into the scheduling function and the way the calendar functions, feel free to set up that meeting. I've dropped the link, guys, into the chat so you can set up a demo. It's available to you guys, and then we can show you deeper underneath what this is. Dylan, I'd like to, because of time, I'd like to really go to the revenue roadmap as soon as we can, if you don't mind.
Yep.
Rock and roll.
Should I zoom in here?
It's perfect.
Yep. So as you guys come on, you'll be able to set up your financial target for the season. I already showed you on the dashboard. It will always be right in front of your face. It's important that we show you your revenue roadmap here so you can track and manage your way towards your financial target. And what we did here was on the left side, we showed you the numbers that you need to output to achieve your financial target. So from left to right, we give you the job cost ranges that you can choose to work with. After that, we'll give you the average. So the average of within that job cost range, how many bids you're going to have to send out with the conversion rate that is average in the industry, which will yield you how many bids you will win and ultimately bring you the revenue per each job price that you're working with. So this will all add up at the bottom towards your financial target. And it will become evident that obviously if you can focus your bidding on higher costing jobs, it takes a lot less of these big whale opportunities than it would of the residential driveways. So on the left side, we're showing you the numbers that don't lie to get that target. And then on the right side, we're showing you what you're actually doing, how many bids you're actually sending out, how you're converting, and why you are where you are.
This is a sample at the $1.5 million target, which is like we've set up kind of this revenue roadmap for $1.5 million. This is, you can edit this, right? You guys can edit that. So Dylan, show them how you can go over and see the different preset selections that you can choose at the top. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. So if instead you were going for 500K, you can just see, you click it and it will reflect throughout the whole system. Displayed here. And now it's going to be displayed in the revenue roadmap down here.
So what I did was I went to work on building out these revenue roadmaps for different revenue targets with gross profits that are industry standard, with industry conversion rates as well on a very conservative level. And I built those out for you guys. But again, you could create a custom roadmap with us. Like if you told me that you wanted to build a $5 million business, I will work with you to set up that revenue roadmap. Our team will, and we will tell you what we need to execute on. So like some of our super broker partners that we work with, they don't want to do $1 million a year. They're wanting to do, you know, they want to do 2 million, 3 million by their second year, and then they want to scale up from there in their brokering deals. Though these revenue roadmaps are very different. The gross profit is also very different when you're brokering a deal versus actually self-performing it. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah, cool. So you can custom set your revenue roadmaps. This right here to me is like one of the most important modules that exist inside of the system. I shot a YouTube video, I think going back like 10 years ago, which was like, tell me a little bit about where you want to be in 18 months. And then I'll provide you with a plan that can get you there. The question is, do you believe in the plan with the utmost conviction, and are you willing to actually execute on it? Because as you can see here, this $530,000 business that's going to give you $200,000 in GP, if you don't put out that bid column that you're showing there, Dylan, that bid column of 60, 60, 65, 40, and 25 vertically, if you're not doing that, if you're not outputting that, and you're not converting at the next column's level, well, you're not going to achieve it, right? And so I see a lot of guys that want to go really hard at this. They want to really build it, but they're not willing to put in the work and get the number of quotes out that are needed. And so the question becomes like, someone who has to put out 250 quotes, that is an owner operator that's going to be out in the field. Can someone do that in a business that's dealing with seasonality, and their owner operator answering their phones, dealing with, you know, running the business, drinking from a fire hose? Will they ever be able to do that 250 output? And the answer is maybe not. And I think that that's worth a discussion before you go down a road and by the end of the year, there's nothing left. You're much better off to set up a plan that is creating success for you. I think that makes sense. That's what we want to do with you guys, by the way. Like, we truly, truly want to work with you guys to help you lay out what kind of plan you really believe in and that you're going to be able to execute on with your schedule. You know, somebody who says, you guys get my drift, right? You get my drift, man. If you want to go to hockey games and you want to go to baseball games, you want to do this, you want to do that with your kids, and you want to go away on the weekends and take Fridays off and all of that stuff. Well, we've got to build a plan to suit that. You may only be hunting $25,000 jobs at that point, you know, Chick-fil-A's, McDonald's, storage facilities, golf courses,
Hey,
hotels, motels.
Judd, like you said at the first, where you said, I wish I would have, I could have, or did have, should have after time. I mean, I've shared this before, I'm in my about 10th year or so, hitting that $1 million a year. And I think that if I would have been doing this, had something like this back when I started, I probably would have been 5 years or so out. I've got a crew of myself and a business partner, and then 4 or 5 guys, and we did $1 million this year. So, it's possible, but to have this guideline here to set up and stuff, and that's, I know that there's probably people on here, because I've received phone calls and I've received emails from some of you guys that said, hey, what did you do this? How did you do that? Questioning me, and just kind of picking my brain for what they should do. And it's one of those things where if you start out in the beginning, so if you're a new single guy that's doing says I want to do line striping, or I'm going to do some seal coating, if you get this set up, you're going to be in those high dollar marks and set up more professional in 5 years or 3 years or 7 years. And it might take you 10 years, who knows, but it is possible. And I know when I saw this was going to be the topic, Judd, I thought, is this going to be a sales pitch for it? And I don't look at it as a sales pitch, honestly, from AK, because Judd, you and your team give so much. I mean, you could call and say, hey, what about this? What about that? And they're always willing to give information. Other coaches and other people on this roundtable, I've called some of them and I've asked, hey, what about this? And so that's what it's for. So I hope that, somebody's not saying, oh, this is a sales pitch for this. I have a tool that I use, have used, and, between my Excel spreadsheets, losing customers, the software that I use that I pay a monthly fee for. So why not combine it into something that's specific to this industry instead of piecemealing? And so anyway, I just want to shout out to Dylan and to you, Judd, and your coaches and your sales teams. I mean, it's for the value. There's other asphalt companies, there's other vendors that sell equipment and material 9 to 5. After 5 o'clock, it's an answering machine. They might call you back, but they're not giving information and training and motivation to help you grow. So and this is an unpaid, unsolicited sponsor for you. I mean, shout out to you. So, I mean,
Thanks.
I've said this before. Do I need to be here on Wednesdays? Some might say, no. Why do you do it? I do it because there's every once in a while, somebody will say something, and I'm going to go back to my team and say, let's do this way, and I'll make it more profitable. So anyway, I just want to throw that out.
Appreciate your kind words, and that's truly what we strive to do, man. We'll keep doing it. We're not going to stop. We're doing it. We're celebrating our 22nd business anniversary tomorrow for Asphalt Kingdom, and it's pretty exciting. And so Matt, it's the journey, man. It's like when we're on the Florida National Pavement Expo or whatever it is, or meeting at a roundup event or whatever, it's just a good group. John, you know what it's like, man. Bill, I mean, Michael Knight, you guys know what it's like. It's just, let's win together, guys. Let's Chad Keeping, right? Like, let's win together, man. That's what it's about. And the last thing I want for you guys to do is end up on AK Dash, for example, and be a member of AK Dash for a month. I want you being a member for life. And if we can earn that, if we can continue to pour into you guys and it can help you guys grow and you feel that it's a good investment for your business, then let's jam, let's have fun. And if it's not, it's not. We're going to still pour into you guys. It's just the way that we roll. So, yeah, I appreciate that. There's a bunch of stuff inside of AK Dash that you guys did not see. There's a lot more. To pack that all in 1 hour and actually go through it in detail would be tough to do. But there's a lot of really cool stuff inside AK Dash that goes beyond that, like the contractor network page. You may want to consider exploring that too with Dylan Malone and getting more information on that. You guys as an AK- member would be on an actual contractor network page where Asphalt Kingdom spotlights your business attached to that contractor network page, which of course creates some great domain authority. It plugs in your Google business profile and also connects to your social media. There's some pretty cool stuff. And I think that will help you as well. You know, at the end of the day, when you put out these big proposals, people are going to look you up. They're going to look you up. They're going to look at your Google business profile. They're going to see if you have 1 review or no reviews. If you have 50 reviews, they're going to look at the rating on it. They're going to check your Facebook. They're going to check your LinkedIn. They're going to do a bunch of different stuff, right? That social proof's a really important thing. One of the things that I'm super excited about, just so you guys know, is that Dylan McCann, who's on here, we've been working together now for quite some time, quite to say the least. I think you placed your first order with us. What year was that? We can't hear you. Something wrong with your mic. But it would have gone back 6 years. Is it 6 years ago? 7 years ago? 2018. Yeah. 2018. And Dylan's built and sold a 7-figure company, a nice company, and he's doing some great work with clients that are just getting started and getting set up. So you can always reach out to his email address is there, dill@asphaltkingdom.com, and he's happy to just explore things with you guys and see if we can work together. And if we can, cool. If we can't, then we don't. But that's what we're trying to do, is just explore things with you guys and try to help you to be more successful. Does that sound like a deal? I think that's a good deal. That's cool. No pressure. No pressure. All right, cool. Questions? Matthias, were you going to say something? Or Dylan?
Can you hear me now? I don't know if you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I known Judd since 2018. Actually, the first time I interacted with Judd was a customer complaint, because it took I think like 30 or 45 days for some equipment to get to me. This is back in Rory's day, if anybody remembers. You know, I think it's just a real testament to Asphalt Kingdom, the way that they handled that complaint. You know, just kind of echoes what Matt was saying about the way that the company handles itself. And you know, I'm just super proud to be part of the team now. So if I can ever help anybody out, you know, I do 30 to 45-minute acceleration calls just to help you with anything that you need, whether you're getting into the business, growing the business, or just to have a question about a project. You know, my email is right there. Don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be a really fun 2025. That's for sure. For those of you that are asking, I just saw a chat come in, Chad. Anthony, Bison, and Stephanie have been super busy with Anthony's Asphalt. They've had a record year. They have literally been going around the clock. They're also doing some really cool John Maxwell leadership stuff. So they're growing as well, not just their business, but they're doing some really cool personal growth with John Maxwell. Have you guys heard of John Maxwell before? Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. That's for sure. And then Dom and Skylar have literally been working around the clock. They have not stopped. They're on another like 300-ton project, a paving project. They've been traveling multiple states. They've had a record year, multi-million-dollar year, and they've just been crushing it. So if anyone's wondering where the other coaches are, that's where they are. They're just rocking it. They're just growing like leaps and bounds. So it's exciting, man. Cool. Any questions, guys? We're at the top of the hour here. Any questions for us at all that we can answer for anyone? Anyone starting out? Anyone in the business? Anything that's painful right now?
Hey, Judd, this is Steve Sykes. I just want to let you know that I'm just starting. This is the first roundtable that I've been a part of. And the reason I am, to be honest with you, is just because the kindness from some of your folks at your business has been super kind and answered every question I've had. And I'm just getting started. I've put out a few proposals. I haven't even got the first job yet. But it's something my son and I are wanting to do just part-time. And and I appreciate your help and just willing to give some advice.
Pleasure, man. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the team. We look forward to being a part of the journey for a long time, hopefully, and we're here for you. Whatever we can do, we're here. You're welcome. Everyone feel good? Everyone happy tonight? Got some good takeaways? Yeah, cool. All right, I'm gonna go and spend some time with my family, put my kids down and rub their backs and stuff, and be dad and a hubby. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your night, and I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you guys building the community and paying it forward. And for those of you that are a lighthouse that like literally continue to shine light, thank you. The world needs lots of us, man. Lots. Keep shining bright, guys. Keep shining bright.
Thank you,
I look
Judd.
forward to. You're welcome. Thank you, Matthias, for co-hosting, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Dylan Malone, for a fantastic demo. Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Good job.
Thank you, everybody.
I got a
Thank you.
successor, sir.
Rory, how are you?
Good, good. Just letting you guys know, I have done a couple of large commercial projects this year, and it was about maybe 100,000 square feet. I made some really good money, and I want to attribute those successes to you guys, and you know, just putting it out there right on YouTube. I wouldn't even thought of it, and you know, the people, they were so happy. It's a big company from Texas. They own old folks homes all over the area, and the guy, like, I organized everything for the guy, and he was just so happy with it. He's like, I'm hiring you next time, and so yeah, I just want to say thank you to Asphalt Kingdom, and I do have a question though about so I bought a AK 300. It was a secondhand. I stole it from the guy pretty much. It was such a good deal. And so anyways, I'm having, you know, because there's not much supply for, you know, like I got to pay to deliver the sealer here. Plus in Ottawa, as you know, Judd, in the springtime, it rains 3-4 days a week, you know, with emulsion. I'm having a hard time deciding if I even want to switch to emulsion, you know, and so I just like some of your guys' inputs on that because, you know, to me, I don't really see the point of switching to emulsion right now. So, you know, maybe you guys can, you know, talk me into it or something. And yeah, that's what I got right now. What do you guys think? Should I switch
Your
to
question,
emulsion or?
is your question to switch to emulsion or oil based, or what's the?
Yeah,
Well, first off, let me just say I'm stoked that you're crushing it, man, and thank you for the gratitude. We appreciate it, man. We couldn't do it without you guys. Right? We're here. We're doing it together, guys. We're successful together. Yeah. So oil based or emulsion?
I use oil based. Like there's a large oil based supplier here. Everybody use oil based. You know, I keep on hearing emulsion from you guys for the commercial, but I'm like, it rains so much here. It's like, you know, any chance, even if it threatens rain, you can't really use it, right? So why should I switch?
Yeah, you've got to make a decision, right? There's two different things, right? So there's the environmental side of this. So if you want to use an asphalt emulsion versus an oil-based, which is petroleum-based, that's going down onto a parking lot that is flammable when it goes down, you know it's flammable, right? You need a dangerous goods carrying license to carry it, or you should. And that oil-based material, when you're putting it down, that oil that's going down is something that is not a seal coat. Like just so we understand, I used to buy Black Mac sealer from McAsphalt 25 years ago. And that's how I started my business. Believe it or not, I bought my very first oil-based spray rig from Protect Asphalt before Ryan and his dad bought Protect Asphalt. It was Jim and Ida. And that oil-based rig that I had bought was only supported with the Black Mac material, and the Bake or Lafarge used to manufacture it. The challenge was that it wasn't sealer. It's still not sealer. It's really a rejuvenator. It's not a seal coat. Do you guys know the difference between a rejuvenator and a sealer? A seal coat is designed to be more viscous, so it seals the surface, preventing water penetration from going into the small fissures and cracks that lead to larger cracks that then lead to potholes and depressions. You seal asphalt so that you can have that protective coating against the traffic and also protecting it against the environment. The oil-based sealer is more of that surface rejuvenator, Rory. So there's the environmental, but then there's also the other side, which is, are we selling seal coat or are we rejuvenating? And so that's something that you're going to have to decide on. Oil-based sealer is more expensive per liter in Canada than asphalt emulsion is delivered. And also, there has been talk for years, I don't know if it's coming or not, but Jim Allison at McAsphalt has spoken about it for years, that they're going to be discontinuing it because Environment Canada is going to put an X-nay on that in coal tar across Canada. So just as a side note, I wouldn't want to see a mid-season end up stuck.
Okay. With the emulsion-based sealer, and then you put the sand in it, does that, like, because what I have, my brother-in-law owns a large asphalt paving company in Ottawa, and lots of times, you know, people are complaining about, like, oh, you know, it's a little bit stony, or you know, the you can see roller lines and stuff. So I'm wondering, like, you know, if I use the emulsion with sand, will it hide a lot of those imperfections?
Tough answer, right? It's a real tough answer, man. It's, will it hide small fissures, like little tiny hairline cracks and things like that? Yeah, for sure. As you're double coating it, for sure, with sand, yeah. But when you start getting into surface, if you get into bird bass and you start getting into roller marks and so on, that sealer is not gonna fix that problem for you. Yeah,
Okay.
it's really not designed to get rid of surface depressions or any kind of rigid marks. It's really designed to seal coat an aged surface that has small cracks in it, ideally. That's what seal coat's ideal.
It might improve the friction on the surface because it's got the sand built into it, and that you could sell it on that basis for sure, especially in Canada here.
Hey, Rory, add some infrared to your arsenal, and then you can fix those cracks or those bird bass with infrared, then put your sealer down. And if you squeegee coat your first coat and spray coat your second coat, you hide a few more imperfections, but seal coat won't hide like bird bass or grooves or bucket scrapes or anything like that. But if you get infrared, you can infrared those imperfections. If that's really what their pinch point is, maybe worth it to give that infrared a shot. I don't know if you've looked into that, but that's an option.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you.
You'll also find that the oil-based sealer is extremely wet, is slippery when it's first laid for the first week, as it stays shiny. You know what I'm talking about, Rory, when the water's beating on the surface and it gets pretty slippery, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to you know, I'm really looking forward to this winter to mastermind with you guys some more and attend a lot more meetings and figure out how I'm going to get a lot more of these commercial jobs, baby.
Let's go. Let's do it. By the way, raise your hand if you're coming to PaveX this year. January 28th, PaveX. You guys coming to PaveX? It's going to be in Chattanooga, way down south. Sorry, yeah, Tennessee, Chattanooga. But it's going to be a big show. We have a RhinoWorks and AK co-branded booth that's going to be there. A big, huge booth. We're going to have some pretty cool equipment that we'll be showing, and we're going to have a bunch of our AK crew there as well. So look forward to seeing those of you that do come. It'll be a blast. Hopefully we'll get together and do a good bite to eat with the roundtable community as well and enjoy some time together. But it would be cool to see you guys. Cool. Let's rock and roll. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight and being here and collaborating. I look forward to being on the roundtable with all of you next week, same time, same place. Have a great,
Thanks,
great
everyone.
rest of the week, guys. Thank you.
Good job,
Thank you.
Dylan.
Thanks. Yeah, good job,
Yeah.
Dylan.
Job, Dylan.
Thank you, guys.